What's going on, Blue Crew? This is my first 57 build since the release came out. I'm really proud of this build. It's using one of the new SMGs, the Oldridian. It's a crazy gun. And on Amara, it's just even crazier. It can do crazy damage by itself, but I made it have some crazy sustain, crazy damage. I feel like it's a total package, I'm gonna be honest with you. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the love in the Discord and subscribers and everything. Let's keep pumping them out and let's keep growing. Let's chat more and talk more in the Discord also. I would love that more people would talk with me. Anyways, let's get into the video, guys. Okay guys, welcome back. Like I was saying, this gun by itself is a monster, but I feel like I made a almost complete build. There are a couple things I wish I had instead, but if I were to change them, it would change a dynamic of the build. One of those things being a shield. Shield I'm using is more for life, for staying alive, you know, more sustain. I'd like to have one more for damage, not that I need it, as you can see from the clips here, but it would make bossing easier. This build's definitely made for mobbing. The damage reduction and everything is made for big groups of mobbing along with the lifesteal. But it can also boss, and I'm gonna show you clips of that later, just like I showed you a couple earlier. You know, I always do a montage. Of course, I'm using remnant orbs. Some of my remnant orbs here kill people without me even having to touch them. It just makes it easier, like always. I'm using stillness of mind here, but you could actually use the one that gives you gives you health back for the damage that you cause with your action skill, and it probably work really well too. I just feel like the CC is really important in this build. Yes, I have a lot of damage reduction and I do a lot of damage, but I don't want enemies just everywhere. I'd like to still have some aspect of Amara, you know. So as of last video, I don't know if you guys seen, but in the comments I said that I just updated my computer and it's caused a lot of my settings to be really crazy. This video is made with those crazy settings. I tried to change them again and it fixed the audio, as you can hear. You can hear me clearly now, but now my video wants to crap the bed. So I have to fix that. I promise within like the next week, I will have it all fixed and back to normal and you won't have to worry about all these problems. Hopefully soon after that I can just buy a whole new PC and I won't have to worry about it because it'll all be good. Not saying my PC is terrible, but I could use upgrades. So I do end up going down right here. As you notice, this is the first time I went down. And I was like, oh, I can't kill him. And I was like, oh no, I have enough damage to kill him. Even while downed, I had enough damage to kill him. So it definitely has the damage. People hitting me in the back of the head, it doesn't matter. I lose my shields more than I actually lose my health. I don't lose my health very often at all. Even my shields, honestly, I don't use them very often because my damage reduction is crazy high in this build. I have points in helping hands. Give me like 35% damage reduction. All damage in the back is reduced by another 59% from that resonant backhand. And I have a chance to absorb bullets in the front, so it's just overall a good build. Or at least I think so. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'm going to show you how I do in different situations before I go into some actual montage clips of me killing some bosses and then into the build. Even in the slaughter shaft, so you don't have to switch elements with this either. It switches elements for you. Because I'm not even using elemental projector, spiritual driver, any of that. And it still works this well for me. So I was thinking about making a build with this gun with an elemental projector and maybe a spiritual driver so I can proc self-damage and running around. I feel like that one's going to be more of a glass cannon. So I'm going to have to focus more on like lifesteal and sustain. But I think I can make it happen. Also, I have another one of these I'm going to have in the save file. I may say that later again, so I apologize. but it's gonna be there so you can so if you want, you can use this as a face grass build, because I do have that one with action skill. On the end of action skill, you have 100% extra damage. Excuse me, I went blank there for a second. As you can see, it just shreds. Okay, now I'm gonna do that boss montage I was telling you about. Just some quick kills of me fighting Gigamon, me fighting Cabintron, just so you guys can see the damage. It does work better if you can hit the critical spot, by the way, and I just couldn't. I move really slow in this build, so I can't hit the critical spot on him. But on Gigamon, I can. And this works on any bosses, except bosses like Grave Ward, who's so far away it's hard for me to hit them. Even when I did my crosswords version of this, it would not work because he's so far away and I'm using personal space as my main damage ability. So it doesn't work very well with anybody who's too far away. But any enemies who's close, in the sky or on the ground, you can definitely do it. Works even better if you can phase slam to actually get that extra damage on them. But if you can't, with the critical, with the artifact I'm using, it won't be a problem. You'll still be able to rack up your damage, but if you can do all those things, it'll look like that. You see how fast his shield went down? Just the tip. But this 57 build is usable for anything you need to. If you need to farm for items, if you want a mob, which is what it's actually made for, it'll help you get the items that you want to make the build you need. I'm really proud of this build. But it's time for me to go over it so you guys can see exactly what I did in this build. Welcome back, Blue Crew. So like I was saying, this build is the whole package. Let me go over the whole build for you guys. So this is the Oldridian that I'm using, the undermining Oldridian, because it has that phase slam damage. It increases your weapon damage by 300%. In the save file, I will also have one that has weapon damage is increased by 100% on action skill N. So for my shield, I'm using a resonant backhand. I tried to use kill switch. Kill switch wouldn't work because it was 53 maybe, and I didn't have enough damage reduction, to be honest with you. So I ended up using this one with the shock damage anointment. This breaker mod that I have here is what makes this build synergize so well and work, because I have the 3 extra points in personal space, I have the extra gun damage if I melee somebody, I have the damage reduction when I'm closer to somebody, which I need for personal space to be closer to people, and it has splash damage, and a lot of weapons that I usually use have splash damage because that's kind of a Amara's thing. Not as much as Moe's, but her splash and her elemental are multiplied together if it's on a gun. I'm using this for the radiation damage because my Oldridian is radiation. I think this item right here, this artifact, could break the game, honestly, because you can have the consecutive hits on here plus 20% damage once you get to 15, plus you could have it on your weapon. And I just feel like people could do some really crazy things with that. I may do some crazy things with that if I get the chance, honestly. Alright, let's go over skill tree. Starting with the Fist of the Elements tree. Infusion, infusion, infusion. Need 5 points in infusion because my gun is actually a radiation gun. Oh, what I didn't cover actually, which I may make a separate video for just this gun so you guys understand it because it's a new gun. They bound the ones they knew of. There were more. I guess that's what they're referring to, is that it switch elements every time you reload the gun. So if I shoot here, oh, give me a second. I reload, shoot again. See, that one's like shocked that time. I actually think I'm just gonna Alright, Tempest. I have 5 points for extra elemental damage. So Dread actually plays a part in this build. Because I'm using Stillness of Mind, and because I have Ascendant, it really synergizes really well. Because if I kill somebody, I get to keep the same element on my gun and it reloads instantly. And I get 15% extra gun damage too, which is nice. In the Brawl tree, I have those 6 points in the personal space I was telling you about to give me all that extra damage, which is really important to us. I have Root to Rise, giving me some extra health, which is going to help me stay alive. Splash damage reduction and some splash damage, even though this gun does not use splash damage. I'm using the Samsahar for my life regen. I slam in the big groups of people, and then that's how I become unkillable pretty much. Helping Hands for some more damage reduction. That and the Resonant Backhand working together is really good for Amara. And going into the Mythical Assault tree. 1 point into Do Harm. Just for when I slam, just to see if it would help. You know, it didn't do too much, so I didn't really mess with it too much. Violent Tapestry. I got this for that status effect chance. With all the status effects I'm trying to do, I want to make sure I have as high a chance as possible. Restless for cooldown rate, so I can slam as much as I constantly need to. Keep everybody locked for CC and to keep my damages max. Transcend just for critical damage, you know, and accuracy. Never go wrong with it. Again, I'm using Ascendant because I'm using Stillness of Mind. Laid Bare and Wrath, they're just damage abilities. That's all they are. So when I slam on those guys, they take more damage. From Rest, I maxed this out because of that fire rate. It gives me a better fire rate, which also helps with the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, because I'm getting those consecutive hits, you know, faster. So it works really well together. I know you see all the Remnant Orbs that are flying around everywhere in this build. I love Remnant Orbs. I think they have so many capabilities. Last but not least, I have Avatar here. Avatar is just so I can double cast my ability if I need to, and I don't have to wait for it to reload, even though it's only going to be about 7 to 10 seconds. That's all I got for this video, guys. If you did like it, please leave a like, share, subscribe. I will have the save file in my Discord, so make sure you join my Discord and be active in there. Talk to people, guys. Let's make an actual community. That's what I'm trying to do. That's all I got for you, Blue Crew, and as always, stay medicated, stay elevated, take it easy.